Happiness.
Happiness.
Happiness, even in hard times.
Cities, the anger growing across the country from New York to Denver to Los Angeles following the death of George Floyd in police custody.
Black lives matter! Black lives matter! I can't breathe! I can't
America as a whole is not happy. We as people in America, North America, South America, Central America, we are not happy compared to a part of the world that they don't have the best weather, they don't make the most money, they don't offer the most entertainment, whatever it may be. Nordic countries are destroying the United States and the rest of the world in terms of happiness. And for the past 5 years, we have ranked number 19 on the Global World Happiness Report. 19. We're not at the very bottom, but we're definitely not there at the top. There's the American dream and the perception. Everybody wants to come here and make a lot of money, buy a nice house, buy a nice car, whatever you want to do with it. The place, where we're free. We can do what we want compared to other countries. However, our happiness, our levels of satisfaction, we rank number 19. And why is that? We're going to dive into the reasons and the practices of these countries and what formula they actually came up with that is keeping their people satisfied and happy. They're beating out North America, they're beating out South America, they're beating out Southeast Asia, they're beating out the Middle East. They are beating all of us in the World Happiness Report, and they're doing it consecutively. They're doing it each and every year. Finland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, they trade places for the #1 spot, and we are going to look into why. We're going to learn from these countries and try to instill some of their values for us, because it's not like we're just gonna pick up our bags and move there, right? We're not just gonna move to Norway, we're not just gonna move to Finland. Maybe I should, because I am actually 39.8% Scandinavian according to my heritage DNA. So it looks like, I should be welcome to the crowd, you know what I'm saying? And just a disclaimer, I want you to stay to the very end of this video because there is one main reason that I truly believe that these Nordic countries are happier than the United States, and we can start implementing this rule and this way of life today after you're done watching this video. So please stay to the end, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So let's get into it.
For the 6th year in a row, the World Happiness Report will look at what's important to people's well-being.
The United Nations just named the happiest place on earth. It is not Disney World, it's Finland.
So does that mean that money can buy happiness?
So when we talk about money, you can see here that the average salary for the US is about $15,000 more than Denmark and Finland. So how are these countries rating higher on the World Happiness Report if money is not the answer? Let's see what Jay-Z has to say about this.
You have a lot of money.
It's up, yeah.
And
I have a lot of happiness, but that doesn't mean that the two equate to each other.
Has your happiness risen at the same amount as your bank account?
No, but there are a lot of people with tons of money who are unhappy because either they become a prisoner of their money or they become so consumed with getting money that they don't allow time for happiness.
When I was young, I thought that success was all I needed. That's what was going to bring the happiness. Buying my mom a house, being the fame, the accolades, having people say, yo, you are the best in the game. I thought those would be the things that would bring happiness. And then when those things came, the happiness wasn't there. And there was such an attempt to achieve these things and to keep going, you lose sight of the people and the blessings that you have around you. These things that seem small if you're looking that way, but if you look this way, you realize they're the only thing that matters, and that's your mother, that's your family, that's love.
What are the attitudes that prevent young people from finding success and happiness?
I think it's this idea that there's a dream job out there. If you chase the opportunities that are there and then figure out a way to be good at them and then figure out a way to love them, you'll be amazed at how stuff lines up.
So, being useful is a key to happiness, isn't it?
Yeah, meaningful work is very different than drudgery.
I'm happier now than when I lived in New York, and I got paid probably twice as much in New York as I do here.
In 2019, the World Happiness Report chose Finland to be the #1 ranked happy country in the world, with Denmark taking that #2 spot.
They're looking for a good balance of life.
and the results are extremely positive.
Christina was unhappy at her job in advertising and took an 8-month break.
And so we have a system that made it possible for me to quit my job and have some thinking time and figure out, what's my next step in life.
Christina received about $2,000 a month from the Danish government while she was unemployed. She is now in school to become a painter. Her tuition is covered, and she receives an educational stipend of about $1,000 a month.
Christina, I am quite jealous of you that you are able to receive $2,000 a month plus a $1,000 a month educational stipend for just wanting to change your career and just do the thing that you love. Well, let me tell you something. These YouTube videos, they don't pay the bills. Not yet, at least. They don't pay the bills. Now, as you can see, these countries do have way higher taxes than the United States. So the freedom of your money, of what you make, is taken away a little bit. But the Nordic people, and according to many reports, you can do the research yourself, they are happy to pay these taxes because they know that their health care is going to be covered. They know that their daycare is going to be covered. They know that they're going to get long maternity and paternity leaves that are paid. They know that higher education, college and vocational schools are going to be covered and paid for. They have a strong sense of trust in their government because their government have been allocating their taxes in a very effective and honest way, or the most honest way.
It seems like in the US, the feeling is you have to be protected from the government and you have to have freedom from the government. I think in Denmark, the sense is that the government protects you.
There isn't super wealth, and there's absolutely no super poverty. Balance is the formula for happiness.
When Americans go home after work October 27th, you guys have worked as much as Danes will work for the entire year. But I actually think that taking a little more time off also makes you a lot more productive.
So let's talk about work-life balance for these countries. Work-life balance is a priority for countries like Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Iceland, Finland. Just to throw some stats out there, in Denmark, your paid time off is minimum of 5 weeks. Sweden is 4 weeks. However, most companies offer 5. Not only are you getting 5 weeks off, but you're also encouraged to take it. Okay, so they get 5 weeks. Norway and Sweden get 4, and then some companies give them 5 weeks. The United States, what do we get? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Actually, there is no minimum amount of PTO. A company could technically not give you any PTO. Now, the average is between 10 to 16 days, but we don't have a minimum, a required minimum, so screw us. There was a study done for the United States. 1/4 of the workforce doesn't even take their full amount of PTO. Now, vacation time is cool and all, but what does that really mean? Well, it means that you get to spend the time to do what you want to do, whether that is hanging out with family members, hanging out with friends, doing different things, different activities, or maybe you want to just lounge around and binge watch that Netflix show that you've been wanting to. Whatever you want to do, you can do that because you have the freedom and you have the ability to do so. You're getting 5 weeks off vacation plus federal holidays in that country. Even if you're stressed out with work, you have a lot of vacation time that you can take, and you are encouraged to do that.
What makes Danes happy, I believe, is because their government takes care of all the necessities of life. Nothing can ever go too wrong in their lives. They're free to pursue a job that really speaks to their passions. But actually, Denmark is a place where ambition is not greatly celebrated. So people aren't in the rat race. They're not always buying new clothes and new cars and trying to keep up with the Joneses. And that gives them more time to pursue their interests. But actually, the bigger part of happiness is getting rid of the stresses of our daily life. So this notion of having your health insurance covered, your education covered, and your retirement covered is actually very huge.
The United States, we're not a socialist country, and I'm not sure if we'll ever get there. And I'm not advocating for socialism at all. Justice League, if there's one thing that we should take away from this video, J. Cole and Jay-Z both said that money is not what makes them happy. Success isn't even really what makes them happy. What makes us happy is spending time with our family, spending time with people that we love, doing the things that we enjoy, living life and just enjoying life, and stop trying to chase the next thing, the next thing, the next best thing, the next best thing. Because there's always going to be something that is quote unquote better. Money is not the answer to happiness. It just isn't. And it's something that we've been hearing for a long time now, but for some reason we still chase it. We need money to pay the bills. We need money to do certain things that we like, but it is not the true source of happiness. I hope this video has shown you that the best weather and the most money isn't the key to happiness. And these Nordic countries and Scandinavian countries have shown us that having our essential rights and having what is the most important covered for us is what can help us feel the most satisfied in life. And that, my friends, is the key to happiness and life satisfaction. Have a good night.